If you've ever considered saving your own cucumber seeds, be sure to watch through the end of this video because I'm going to be sharing 3 of the most common mistakes that I see people make when it comes to saving cucumber seeds, and I'm going to lead you through the entire seed saving process. If you're new here, I'm Audrey, and I help passion-driven people trailblaze their way to a more self-sufficient life filled with happiness, plants, and chickens. Okay, so the first mistake that I see people make is that they want to save seeds from a hybrid variety. And a hybrid is a cross between 2 different varieties, and so if you save those seeds, you're not going to get the plant that you're saving seeds from. And so that leads us to the very first step to saving seeds, which is saving seeds from an heirloom variety. The next thing to consider if you plan on saving seeds is to keep plants within the same family isolated. If you have multiple plants in the same family growing out in your garden, then they can potentially cross-pollinate, which means those seeds will not be true to the variety that you're saving from. So at the beginning of the season, when you are planning out your garden, just consider what you want to save seeds from that year and then keep only one variety of that plant. For example, this year I knew I wanted to save cucumber seeds, and so I only grew one type of cucumber in my garden, and at the end of the season I saved cucumber seeds from it. But with everything else, I didn't have really any huge intentions of saving seeds from all kinds of other plants, and so I grew multiple varieties of mostly everything else. But with the cucumbers this last season, I only had one cucumber variety growing, and so that I knew that those seeds would be true to that variety. The second common mistake that I see is trying to save seeds from immature cucumbers. The cucumbers that are actually the best ones to eat are not fully mature, and so those seeds inside still need time to develop. They aren't really ready for saving seeds yet. In order to save seeds, you want to let the cucumber fully mature on the vine, and when they're fully mature, they will easily pull off the vine, and they will usually turn from a greenish color to a yellow or orange. And this last season, I saved from Armenian cucumbers, which are truly a melon, but the process is exactly the same. So after you pick the fully mature cucumbers, cut them in half lengthwise and scoop out all of the pulp and the seeds. And then dump that pulp along with the seeds into a container of warm water and gently stir it around. Right off the bat, the pulp and some of the seeds should float to the top. Any of those seeds that initially float to the top are not viable anyways, and so you can just scoop them out along with any pulp and get rid of it, and then leave the seeds to sit in the water for a few days. There's a gel type coating that's coated around each of the cucumber seeds, and so once you let those seeds sit in the water for a few days, then that gel coating comes off. And after the mixture has sat for those few days, you can remove any of the remaining pulp and seeds that float to the top, and then all of the seeds that are sunk to the bottom of the container are your viable seeds that are ready to save. And so dump those into a colander and rinse them off, and then spread them out on a cookie sheet lined with paper towels and dry off all the initial moisture, and then spread them out onto another cookie sheet or any kind of drying rack you have to let them dry. You want to let them dry out completely, and so for mine it took about a week. And the way that you know that those seeds are completely dry is that they will easily snap right in half. If they have some bend to them, they still need to continue drying just a little bit longer. Then after the seeds have dried out, store them in an airtight container in a cool, dry, and dark place. And if the right conditions are met, those seeds should be viable for about 5 years. And now, mistake number 3, which is not going through the entire seed saving process. Saving seeds is not a difficult process, but the whole purpose of saving your own seeds is to be able to successfully plant them in your own garden. But if you don't go through all of the steps, there's a good chance that next year when you plant those seeds in your garden, they may not be viable and so they won't germinate. So be sure to follow each of the steps covered throughout this video, and then next year you'll be enjoying beautiful cucumber plants planted from seeds saved from your own garden. And if you'd like to learn how to save seeds from other vegetables in your garden, a really fun one to try is carrots. But carrots don't produce seeds in just one season like cucumbers do. They're a little bit tricky. And so be sure to head to this video right here where I go over all of the information you need to know on saving carrot seeds so that you can start making the most use out of all of your vegetables. I will see you there.